Mic check, mic check. I think you guys can hear me now, right? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me now. You should be able to. Yeah, am I still muted? Mic check, mic check. Check, 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 check. I shouldn't be. Stream health is excellent. Still no audio? Mic check, mic check. Damn. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I got it. Do I have audio over on YouTube? Let's find out. I think I got it. There it is. Add. Mic check, mic check. I think I got you guys this time. There we go. And Spotify. Yeah, for some reason, guys, I upgraded to the new Wave software, which was working great yesterday. I shouldn't say that. It took me some finagling to get it to work properly. And I got it to work eventually. And as you can see from the back screen right here, when I booted it up today, it's just like on a boot loop for whatever reason. Not sure what's that all about, so I have to troubleshoot that later. But I just went to my old routing method, and it worked this time. So sorry about that. This kind of stuff always happens with new software, especially when you build your own PC. Shit's bound to happen. Shit's bound to happen. So what's going on? What's going on? I had a question earlier about the A75. A75 is fire, man. A75 is fucking fire, dude. You can check any error that happens in your PC using a command prompt. What's the command prompt, VR God? So that Elgato mic is XLR. Yeah, this is the Elgato. I can find it. Elgato mic Wave DX, I think it's called. Yeah, here it is. Wave DX. It's $100. It's not the most expensive mic in the world. I probably would have gotten a different color, but when I got this one, they didn't have other colors. It gives you a description. So the Elgato mic is XLR. He's referring to the error logs if Elgato Wave links generates them. Perform a command. Let's see. Command prop forward slash rel. Is not a recognized as internal external command. I'm on a Windows PC. Perform forward slash rel. What's the command prompt though? What's the command? Yeah, type it in like, yeah, give it to me. Just to take a peek, cause it should fucking work. Oh, got it. Perf MON forward slash rel. All right, where do we see? CC engine executable. What are we looking at here? I don't know how to read any of this. Press on the red dot, this one. This is nothing to do with Wave. Because I don't know if it failed. It's just not starting. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes a fresh restart is good. Let's see, what is this? Windows was not properly shut down. That's weird. What is this? I don't see anything that is the critical events, hardware error, shut down unexpectedly. Oh, these are different days. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is today, 3/7. No, nothing failed today. This is 3/7. This is 3/8. So this is today. It's so annoying that I have to do a fresh install though, because I set all my EQs and all my shit. I did save it on the what's it called? On the all right, so let's just uninstall it, right? And then let me see if I can open it again. I won't fiddle with this too much because I got it to work. Starting Elgato Wavelink. One moment, we're preparing everything for you. I doubt it should take this long, right? They sync to your account. Yeah, so hopefully I was able to sync to my account. Isn't it a cool little graph? It's my favorite command. Yeah, it's a cool graph. It just didn't show me anything that failed today. Because I don't think it's actually failing. I think it's just in a boot loop and it's not failing, if that makes sense. This kind of shit, you know, sometimes debugging. I had a job before my creative job as a... I worked on a manufacturing line for like a fiber optics company. And we dealt with troubleshooting shit all the time. All the time, not just in computer software and stuff, but we did a lot of stuff in like we did a lot of debugging. It was really cool. It was really cool to see how things work and like the process of noting everything down that we did and, you know, the next steps to take and stuff like that. Full uninstall. Make sure all logs are storage and deleted. Yeah. I'll check it out. I did just install it yesterday, and we'll see. I don't feel like doing that right now since I got everything up and running. I did like it though. Like the way it was controlling all of my audio yesterday was really, really cool. So I did like it. I just wish that it just worked. Worked on several alphas and betas. Sick, dude. I worked for PlayStation for 9.5 years as a QA tester and software engineer. Nice. What do you do now, Andrew? There was another thing that I was working on here. So I'm working on over on the YouTube. I'm trying to get my my chat. Even when I do the smallest amount of code, I feel like a goddamn super genius. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Nothing, trying to be a content creator, find new work. Yeah, man. You could totally do that, man. What do you do? What are you doing to make that happen, Andrew? Gareth, what up, Gareth? Need your opinion on the DJI Action 6 or DJI Nano for capturing everyday vlogs and B-roll. If I was you, I would get the 6. Gareth, whenever, for everybody that's in the chat, actually, YouTube world, hello, YouTube. Do I still have sound effects? Did that work? Can you guys hear sound effects? No, you can't. Or is there sound effects? I didn't even hear it that time. Regardless, for anybody that's in the chat, if you have an option between two cameras and you've narrowed it down to those two, always go for the one that has the larger sensor. I can hear it. Cool. Cool. Working on it. It's all I can say right now. I'm struggling with my niche on the creative side. It works. Bro, you just got to do it, Andrew. Where are you publishing? Are you publishing to TikTok or are you going over to YouTube? I'm sure that you've heard this enough. You sound like you're grown enough to know what the fuck you got to do, but I'll tell you one time. Just do it. Just fucking do it, bro. Just post that video. Yeah, just do it, dude. Just do it. I started on YouTube like 3-4 years ago, about 4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer now that I think about it. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I watched some of my earlier videos, man, and it's fucking cringe. But they're still there. They're still there. I keep them up to. I still keep them up just so that I can go back to them and like get it. But the Nano is so convenient for POV, but that's about it. Yeah, it is convenient. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't have the Nano, but I have a camera that is similar to the Nano. This is the old Insta. I don't have the latest one, but this essentially like moves the little camera, and then I have like a this one's good for like just my own shots, but the problem is that the sensor on this thing is so small that I don't like the quality of it myself in like low light situations. But the new one of this one does have, so this is the Insta360 Go. I think they have an Ultra now, and they made it with a bigger sensor. But the DJI 6 has an even bigger sensor than that. Is it convenient? I mean, it was all right. I didn't really the problem, like you know, when you first get started, and I get it because I was there too. It's you think that what's it called? The POV is everything that you want to do, but you can also do the POV for the Nano. I have a chest mount. I use the chest mount all the time, and POV shots, man, they're once in a while. You know, the majority of your content, if that's what you're gonna use it for, though, strictly POV. I can see it, man. I can see it. I can definitely see it. YouTube, what's going on, YouTube? What do I buy for photography? What do you buy? You should buy a camera. You should definitely start with a camera. What do I buy for photography? I'm just starting out. How much money do you have? Run it, Bajalero. Is there a giveaway? There's not a giveaway. Honestly, I would get the Meta glasses and the camera. The Meta glasses, that's a good option too, but that's even a smaller sensor, but it is a lot more convenient. I'm waiting for one or two more at least one more generations for the Meta glasses. I have a Pocket 3, but it's so delicate to have in the gym. Yeah, that one I wouldn't use that one for POV because you'll rip the head off of that motherfucker like it's nobody's business. Super easy too. Let's see. Was deciding between the 64 and the 61. Definitely the 6400. The 6400 with a nice lens, like a 10 to 18 or 18 to 50. Those are really really nice. By the way, guys, I have all of my the things that I own on my Amazon storefront. On TikTok, you can find it in my link in bio in my profile page, Amazon storefront, and in YouTube it should be the first link in the description. But here I have all of the lenses that I recommend for Sony as well, and the RF mount. But the one that I'm talking about for like the 6400, if you're just getting started, I think this lens right here is a no-brainer. Skip the kit lens on the 64, just get the body only, and then get this lens right here. This is it, the 18 to 50. Yeah, 18 to 50. What are your thoughts on the Canon R6? I love the Canon R6 Mark II. If you can, I think the R6 Mark III is like $500 or $700 more. That extra $700 is totally worth it. Totally worth it. I can't wait. I'm trying out a Tesla full self-driving today. That's scary, dude. I'd be afraid. What are your thoughts on the Canon R6 Mark II? I'm planning to buy the Fujifilm XT. Sick, dude. XT30 is nice. Yeah, that lens is just a kit lens, but Fuji's kit lenses are cool. I was also getting the 18 to 50 from Sigma. Yeah, this one is nice, dude. If you're looking at a lens, this is it. If you're looking at other for the 6400, all of the Sigma lenses are fire, dude. If you have the money, if it's in your budget, just get this one. This is the 17 to 40 f1.8. This lens is fucking great. I have it right here actually. Yeah, this lens is really really nice. Actually, I'm using the 18 to 50 on this camera right here. This is the 18 to 50. This is the 17 to 40. Like I said, all the lenses that I'm showing you guys, I own them all currently. Eight viewers on YouTube. Wow. It's kind of cool. Kind of overexposed right now, I think. Am I? My window's on. My window's on. My window's open, I should say. Let me close it. During the day, I like to use the natural light, but I guess today's just a little bit too bright. Kind of overexposed. Hello, what telephoto lens for beginners? Nature photography? Probably the 70 to 180 Tamron, Finn. But I would be left with no more money and buy a good lens if I go with the 6100. Well, see, the thing is, bro, with money, is that money comes back, dude. Money comes back. You don't need to buy everything in one shot. You know what I mean? I'm a beginner and I would like a good camera because some months I will go to New York. Can you advise? The 6400, the R50 is nice. Show us what you have on your big stream deck. Just sound effects right now. Yeah, on the stream deck is just the sound effects. I can't really show it. It's not available. It's like right here, but it's tied down so it doesn't move. What memes do you have on your stream deck? They're just sound effects. Do you run OBS and TikTok Live Studio simultaneously? I do. So I'm running DC Cowboys, he's getting blocked. D Cowboy 720 just got blocked. Sorry, bro. Do you run OBS? Yes, I do. Search Burong in YouTube, and you see. I know who Burong is, bro. I guess he's a popular streamer or content creator. What camera you run? This is the. Actually, I can bring it up. The Canon R. If you're on TikTok, you guys are watching me on the Canon R10, and then YouTube, the top one, is the R50. These are the three cameras that I'm currently using right now. The R50, the R10, and the R50V. Forgot to mention some person in shop is using your videos to promote their products. Yeah, that happens. Send me the link, Finn, whenever you do. Brands sometimes ask for permission for extra commission to use my videos on other platforms and stuff. It's pretty normal. And there's no recourse that I could take, really. It just happens. I run a 6700. Nice. 67 is nice, dude. 6.7. Wow, 2 cameras. I thought you were sending one camera to both streams. Yeah, no. So, well, it's actually 3 cameras. I don't know if you can see the third one right here, Andrew. This is the R50V right here. And actually, I did set up right here some of my PC parts. I need to add more stuff to my PC parts. This is the laptop that my work gave me, but I built this PC myself. The MSI Godlike with a 5090 and then a 9950X3D is like the core of it. So I do have all of this stuff linked in my bio if anybody's ever interested. I'm going to use your videos for personal use. Like Aaron France, like a gooner? Are you going to goon to him, bro? I've never been so I've never been so flattered. Uh-oh, I just got a violation warning. I think because I said the G word. My thing has been restricted. Uh-oh. Let's see. If I could only use one lens, what's the perfect if I could only use one lens, what's the perfect lens to pair with the Canon R6 Mark II? Probably the 24-105 f4. That'd be a nice one lens. Man, I'm so over TikTok. The other lives are dumb. Appreciate you for wanting to help people. My bad, bro. It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm slowly, you guys, migrating all of my stuff. So from TikTok over to YouTube. I'll still kick on TikTok, but I don't care that much about TikTok anymore because I'm building my YouTube audience. So I'll still be going live, and if I lose access to TikTok live, it'll be all right, you know. Yeah, I can't be sure. I can't be sure if that's what got the violation, but as soon as I said it, a violation appeared. It said, "Hey, harassment isn't against our TOS." I'm like, "All right, bro. Like, whatever. I'll appeal it. I'll lose the appeal, and then it'll be over." Yeah, for those of you guys that haven't seen my YouTube, feel free to subscribe. I'm multi-streaming there right now. The view that you get over there is this one, but I'm using this to like multi-stream. Eventually, I'm thinking if I have this like content creator angle where I'm helping people like that want to get started with content and stuff, or streaming, that I could probably have with cameras, with nicer cameras, not just webcams, that I could probably help out people over on on Kick and Twitch. You know. What is that red box? Oh, the red box. So I'm trying to figure out, you guys over on YouTube. Thanks for asking. That is the chat box. So yesterday I was playing with it, and what I want to do is I want to add some CSS code and make it all one color or transparent, but it's essentially the combined chat of YouTube and TikTok. I know it's a little small. I need to make it narrow, and I need to make the text bigger. So I have some fiddling with it. But hey, this is Andrew. Andrew, this I'm assuming you are Andrew B from TikTok. This is kind of the, just kind of one of the examples that I was trying to say earlier. I just do shit live to see how it works, and then like make subtle improvements. Well, you as an engineer would know, like the term MVP, the most viable product, and this is it. You just make iterations and slowly improve the processes that you currently have over time, but you fucking get started. I had a TikTok account with 2 million views. It got banned. Damn. It's me from TikTok. Caster Lab. All right, Caster Labs. Can't believe they're running. Yep. I hate that app. Yeah, TikTok is. TikTok is still cool. I like the reach and all that stuff, but I did use, full transparency, especially over on the YouTube world, I did use TikTok to basically learn how to stream, how to like talk to people, how to set up my mic, how to set up the audio. I thought that it was like the least barrier to entry, like the learning curve was the smallest or narrowest. So that's why I went to TikTok since November, because I just started live streaming consistently in November and slowly built up that audience over time. And now I headed over to YouTube. And now for the past 3 days, YouTube with 10 concurrent viewers. Thanks, YouTube. I've been outnumbered. The YouTube has been outnumbering TikTok. It probably will outnumber TikTok today because I got that violation, but that's all right. Minimum viable product. Yes. What did I say? Most viable product? Yeah, minimum viable product. So that's my kind of Andrew. Thank you. That's kind of like my a mantra or like a philosophy that I've kind of adopted in almost everything that I do. MVP is like, what's the minimum viable product to get this fucking out, to get it out and then improve it as we go. Anyways, I say all that because earlier we were talking about you wanting to get your content creator journey underway. Do you have a YouTube channel, bro? Send it to me, man. I'll follow. I'll give you a sub. Can I go to channel? Oh shit, bro. Yeah, you got 300 subs, broski. Subscribe. Are you building on this channel? Yo, you kind of look like Professor G in this photo, in this first one right here. Yeah, I see your views. I'm looking at your views here. 78, 63, double digits. Yeah. You're building something, broski. You're building it, man. Your image looks clean, though, man. Yeah. Oh, you got 1K? Oh, this is when you talked about a product. That's the thing, man. That's the thing. When you start talking about a product... Yeah, most of your stuff is double digits, which is fine, and then your one with 4 digits, 1K plus 1K is all talking about products. So you have 2 videos. Yeah, broski. I get it, man. 300 subs, broski, is not nothing to scoff at, though, bro. A friend got banned for saying, yeah, dude. Yeah, you just don't know the term. The TOSs on TikTok are always like changing and shit like that. But Actually, what I might do on TikTok, since I got that violation, you guys, I'm going to probably log off of TikTok and then come right back. So if you're not following on TikTok right now, go ahead and follow right now. It's going to take me 5 seconds to just take this live down and then pull it back up. So if you're not following, please follow right now. I'm going to log off and then come right back. I don't even know if that does anything, but I'm going to give it a try. All right, logging off of TikTok now. I'll be back in like 20 seconds. And live. See ya. Ended now, yes. And then we'll just go live again. Oh, my title change. Should you buy? I was wondering why my stream yesterday wasn't going out to a lot of people. My fucking title changed. That's weird. Go live. All right. I think TikTok is great funnel to this platform. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I don't truthfully though, Andrew, I don't use TikTok like I'm trying my best not to funnel people from one platform to another, and I'm trying to meet people where they are. So rarely will you see me. I will do it. I need to be better at it, but I'll just like tell people about YouTube, but I won't ask them to go over there. At least I won't oversell it. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to meet people where they are. I have a Canon R5 Mark II. If I want one lens, the best, either prime or zoom, what should I choose? What are you doing with it, Martin? Martin Curian? It's a great question. I'm solid at making videos. I just need to do it. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you need to do it. And that niche of like the personal help stuff is like is a little tough because it's difficult to not make the videos about you because at the point where you're at, and this happens to a lot of creators, nobody cares about what's happening to you. They want to know about how you can help them. So that like pivot, that position change is like kind of hard to grasp and hard to implement. But if you can switch it around and make it about the viewer more, just based off of your titles, one of the things that I remember is like it's called YouTube, not MeTube. You know, I think TikTok. Do you dual stream on YouTube? Yeah. So, yeah, dual stream. So I'm streaming. It's not my favorite. So it's a horizontal and a vertical. But what happens is that the vertical output on YouTube is a middle section of this right here. And what happens when I change my screen is that it does the exact same thing. So like if I have screens that I'm off to the side like this, the only thing that the audience sees is the window. Ketzel note, what is that? Katz NL and Bog. What was your question, bud? Say it again. Sorry about that. Mikey, hey, so I have a Canon R50. What's my next upgrade should be? You should get a lens probably. The R50 is nice. I got boogers. Got a runny nose. All right, man. You inspire me. I will vlog on the Sony A7 IV event this week. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. What would you buy if the price difference was $62? Sony A7A1 or the Sony A7 IV? Ooh. I saw a special. I would get the A1 too. Yeah, I would get the A1 too, and then eventually save up your money for that 50 to 150. That 35 to 150 is nice though. That's not a Sony though, is it? 35 to 150 f2.8. Is that the Tamron lens? Yeah, that's a pretty. I'd get the Sony A1 A1, and then it's a better camera, you know. Yeah, it's a Tamron. Be careful though. I think that Tamron, isn't that Tamron a crop sensor lens or is it a full frame lens? I forget. 35 to 150 Tamron. I don't remember. It's an f2 to f2.8, right? Is it this one? Oh, it's full frame. There you go. Yeah, it's full frame. Yeah, this lens is great. The other lens is far superior. For the other one, you're paying half the price of the camera in the lens because the 50 to 150 is like $3,000. Yeah, look at this, $4,000, dude. For that other bargain or whatever, you're buying more lens than you are camera. So what I would do is I would buy the nicer camera, and then I would take that other lens and then chip away at savings and buy this lens later, or rent it. Rent it if you ever need it. This is a great lens to have, though. $4,000 is crazy, though. Yeah, $4,000 is absolutely nuts. Oh, I'm not getting any TikTok chat. TikTok, sorry, TikTok. My thing isn't working. You guys are like blowing it up over here. Sorry, TikTok. Let's see. 11 people. All right, cool. What does Amazon not sell? Why does Amazon not sell good cameras? It does sell good cameras. At the moment on YouTube, why camera you're using stream? At the moment on YouTube, why camera you're using to stream? The R50. I don't know what that means, Saeed. On YouTube, I'm using an R50, yes. What should I buy? R7, A7 III, or R50? The R7. Sony 67 with a Tamron 17 to 80? Probably is what you meant. Or 17 to 70. So I'm a beginner photographer, and I would like to know what's a good mirrorless camera. R50. I can a Canon R6, and my friend gave me a 24 to 70 f2 lens. What would I do? Probably sell the lens or sell the camera. The original Canon R6 is probably you probably only get like $1,000 for it. What's a good cheap sport lens? I'm in middle school and I don't have a lot of money to lens. 70 to 180 Tamron. My girl bought me a 35 to 150. Nice. How much is that lens? $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. Nice. Are mirrorless better than DSLRs? Generally, yeah. Canon R6 Mark II versus R5. Depends on what you're doing. R5 is still a nice camera, though. Yo, T5i, it's a great for starters. I don't like any Rebel cameras. What up, Rain? What up, Rain? Yeah, now, listen, Andrew, now that I changed my my title on TikTok, dude, now I'm getting a lot more people popping in and out. For some reason my title changed, and I overlooked it last night. Last night I was wondering what the hell was going on because my TikTok was silent, and it's never like that. It's usually always people coming in. Well, lately I should say. For the people that are just joining over on TikTok, hello, how are you? We are just I am just answering as many questions as I can about whatever it is that you, what camera you want to buy. Do you have any advice on lenses? Yeah, of course. Best all-around lens for the X mount. I really like Jan. I really like the these lenses right here. The Sigma, where are we? These lenses here. The Sigma lenses, they're available for the X mount. These are really good. These Sigma lenses right here. By the way, guys, you guys can find all of these links in TikTok in my link in bio, the beacons link. And then on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, it's the first link in the description. And I have everything categorized there by the stuff that I use. But talking about the X mount specifically, if you can afford this one, I would probably go with this guy. This is the 17 to 40 available for Fuji X mount right here. And then if you can't afford that one, you can do this one, the 18 to 50, or even the 10 to 18 is really nice. I always tell people title and thumbnail really do matter on TikTok. Yeah, the title is really important. The title to the lives are super duper important. That's how they get categorized. And I've been using the same title for like, it's what camera should you buy, and that title sends it out. It's actually even good on YouTube using that title. And it took me like a couple of weeks of trying different titles to find one that is like that catches people. Is it worth buying a Sony 18-105 f4G? Yeah. I just got a Canon EOS 60D. Is it still worth it for taking videos? Try it. Did you try it, Davis? I want an affordable Canon lens for sports photography. What's affordable to you, Cut Rut? What is affordable, buddy? Zoom lenses are expensive, guys. You guys gotta realize that zoom lenses are a lot more expensive than prime lenses. Is a Sony A7 IV good? A Sony A7 IV is good. Yeah, dude, big difference. For those of you guys following over on TikTok, if you haven't, if you're watching over on TikTok, if you haven't followed already, please do so. We're just talking about camera gears. Same with YouTube. On YouTube, let me know what you guys are actually shooting with. Do you guys even create content over there? You guys mostly photographers or videographers? I'm trying to see if anybody's a content creator and figure out what it is that they're struggling with, or where they currently are. I've got an R10 and I've got an 18 to 50. The zoom isn't enough for basketball. What would you recommend? Get something a little longer. Get like the 28 to 70 would probably be nice. Yeah, the 28 to 70 would be nice. 70 to 200. Like 700 or lens. $700 or less. My brother blessed me with an A7S III. Just bought the Sony. Nice, dude. I have an FX6, but it's too much for travel. Anything small and compact. FX3, Eddie. For soccer. Sony 6700. I will buy this month. Sigma 17 to 40. Yeah, that's a nice one. Splatoon. That's definitely a nice one. I wonder why my let's see, Caster Lab. Let's exit this and then try it again. Jesus Christ. I have 2 million followers. Every time I use the Sony A7 IV, video flops. That's interesting. What does flop mean? How to keep resolution when exporting. I export in 1080-30. I edit in 4K 30 and then export in 1080-30. That's pretty much all that I do for exporting settings. All right, YouTube connected successfully. Boom, got it. Not past 10K views. I mean, that's a pretty easy. Just don't use the A7 IV, right? What's the best cheap GoPro? I don't know. I've never used GoPros. I'd probably would just go as far as last year's iteration. What are we on? What are the GoPros on right now? Are they on like GoPro 13 or 14? Newest GoPro. Dude, these are so fucking cheap. They're on the 13. $400, dude? Just buy this, dude. Buy the newest one. $400? I would say it's worth it to buy the latest one. I thought these were like above like 5 or 6. You know what I mean? YouTube is working again. Yay, YouTube. A7 Mark IV or Lumix S. Ooh, RJ, I would look at that Lumix, dude. Have you seen the S5 to S? No, X. That one looks really cool, man. Both of them look really nice. I also need an ultra wide. I'm not sure, but probably the Sigma 8-16. It's old but sharp. I like the 12 millimeter. It's not a zoom. The 8, I guess, is nice, but the Sigma 12 is really cool. I have it right here. This is an f1.4 lens. It is a crop sensor lens, though, so. Hero 13 or Action 6? I would get the Action 6. Any recommendations for buying first cam? R50, for sure. Do you edit in DaVinci Resolve? No, Andrew. I edit in everything in Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro. Thoughts on the Viltrox 27 for XE5? Thumbs up. Viltrox is coming up. I think Viltrox just got in a little bit of trouble, though. Viltrox and another lens company got in trouble from Nikon. That's not related to you, but Canon R5. Thumbs up, Canon R5. What camera should I can buy, sir? I'd probably take a hard look at that Lumix, dude. That Lumix is really cool. Which one is better for shooting photos, Canon or Sony? Canon, for sure. It's not about zooming, just having the ultra-wide. 12 is definitely smaller. Have get in light. Yeah, the 12 is really nice. Also, the one that I use a lot is this one. If you're looking for just an extra bit of reach, Splatoon, this 10-18. I actually have it. Does this need to be connected? I think it does need to be connected. I need to get a longer cable of these. MVP, Andrew, MVP. Minimum viable product. Does it work? Yeah, I have it right here. Check it out. This is the 10-18 right here. It's a nice little lens. It's a 10-18 constant f2.8. Again, this is a crop sensor lens, so be aware of that. And then the one that I really like, it's not an ultra wide, is the 17-40. These lenses are really great, dude. I can't get over the Sigma stuff. Do you also focus on live mixtape videos for YouTube? Which camera? Live mixtape videos? What are live mixtape videos? Brother. I have a 67. What lens can I invest for portrait? The Sigma lenses, Lucy. Yeah, the Sigma lenses. The Sigma 23 is really nice. I have the same lens for real estate. Real estate. How do you like it, James? The 10-18? That'd be good for sure. A Canon R10 setup. Can I see the Canon R? Nathan, I'm using it. I'm using it as this camera right here, you guys. This one is a Canon R10 with a 23mm Sigma lens. Super fucking nice, in my opinion. And then this one up here is a R50 with the 16mm Sigma. And then this camera right here that I have up here, this is the R50V with the 18-50. I have the setup right here. These are all the lenses that I'm using. Stop using the R10. We need to see it. Why do you need to see it? It's right here. I did just make a video for it. You guys can see it on my TikTok if you guys are interested. Like, I literally just made it yesterday, I think. This video right here.
Every single live, I get the exact same question multiple times.
Yeah, it's right here. Boom. That's it. The R10 with the 23 and then the R50. So this is how I have my setup right here. It's one of my most recent videos, so it's like literally up at the top. Hey, look, 1,000 views, close to 1,000. Look at that! Yay! Yay! YouTube comments. I just bought my first real camera. Blade, thank you for commenting over on YouTube. Go search Major League Balcony Mix YouTube. You will see it, please. It's awesome. Just tell me what it is. It's awesome, to be honest, in the same range as the 16. Yeah, exactly right. The 10 to 18 is really, really cool, dude. I'm glad that you said that it was good for real estate, because I've been wondering in it. I've never used it for real estate. I imagine it'd be good, of course, but I was like, I wonder if professionals are using it, because the f2.8 was a little concerning. I didn't know if it would be better to go with a prime that was a little bit brighter, but cool. I have a Pentax K2 III right now, but I want to buy a small mirrorless for everyday carry and street photography. I really love the Sigma lens. Try the 18 to 50 f2.8 also. Oh, wait, I really love the Fuji look, so I looked into the XE5 and the XT5. Vozd, did you see the Lumix S9, bro? The Lumix S9 looked really interesting. It's super small, man, just kind of like what you're talking about. It looked really interesting to me, and they have it in brown. They have a bunch of colors, but this one was really tempting, dude. It shoots an open gate. It's like an everyday super duper small camera, you know? Let's see, where's B&H? Here it is, right here. It is the live mix. Please search it. I want to learn how to shoot long video with 3 cameras. Amol, if you want me to dive into something specific, bro, I do have one-on-one calls, but I don't like diverting from what I'm actually doing during a live session. Would you recommend them for me as a relative beginner, or should I try buy an older Fuji? Those Fujis, though, if you're sold on the Fujis, the XM5 is really cool. What other one did you say that you liked? Forgive me. XT50? Yeah, those are really cool, too. XT50. Yeah, these are definitely nice, dude. These are a little bit bigger, though, but this is nice, dude. 40 megapixels. Sheesh. This actually, does this shoot in open gate as well? 4K 60. Yeah, it does. 6K 10-bit video with IBIS. Yeah, this is a nice camera. Same price, too. Different form factor, though. So this will give you a viewfinder. I would definitely get the Fuji. I would definitely get this one, the XT50. 100%. That's full frame, right? Yeah, the Lumix. That was the other thing about it, is that the Lumix, bro, is a full frame sensor, which is kind of makes sense at this price, right? The R10 is a great camera. I own. Yeah, the R10 is fine. I like the R10. There's a thing, though, that if you're looking at the R10, you might as well look at the R7 because the prices are pretty close. Comparatively. Oh, I should open up my door. Hold up. I looked at my chair right here, and my cat wasn't there, and there she is. She immediately came in. Around this time of day, she's always like, I don't want to say needy, but she's always like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what's going on? I bought the Fuji XT100. XT100? I don't know that camera, Jess. The X100, you mean? Yo, bro, should I get a Sony A7 IV or a Sony 66? A7 VI? I don't know if that camera exists. I think you meant to say A7 IV, and I would get the A7 IV. Splatoon. I got my R10 with a kit lens new for $800. Don't know the official price. It's about $1,000. But that's in euros. 1,000 USD. Euros is probably different. Here, let me close this door. Now that my cat came in. You guys wanna meet my cat? She'll come up here in a second. She'll come up here in a second to say hi. Come on. Come on, kitty. This is my kitty, you guys. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Yeah, I know. I know. Yep, I know. All right. Go on. On a budget, should I get the A7 III? Yeah, the A7 III is nice, dude. It's limited. It's a little bit older now, but if you got the budget for an A7 III, I would get it for sure. Don't spend money on gear. Sign into university and learn photography. If you want to. If you want to spend money, spend your money. You can either spend your money on university. In the United States, university isn't free though, so you're still spending money. Espresso Paparazzi probably lives in a country where university's free. But here in America, you got to pay. Do you shoot APS-C too or only full frame? I'd shoot both. Do you charge a camera with a USB or battery? I'm a beginner, so I don't know. I'm still learning. Sometimes I charge. The Canon R10 is being powered via USB-C for constant power. But you can. What I use are these little bricks that look like this. And then here there's two, and then this charges via USB-C right here. And it looks like I need to put this on a charge, but I'll just let it die for now. Lumix S5 II or FX30 or definitely the A7 III, get it out. I would go for the Lumix, the full frame. Efan, what do you think? Where's YouTube at? That's full frame, right? Yeah. This message is held for review. Sensor stabilization would be nice. Yeah, if you got it, yeah. Yeah, YouTube is I'm happy with my YouTube performance, man. I'm kind of talking out loud here. Astro Kabulu, thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I didn't even see her comment. Pin this. What's your current everyday? My EDC is this right here, guys. Let me get some light in here. This is my EDC camera. It's an R50V with the 17-40 Sigma lens. This is what I use every single day. R50V, 17-40. Which one is better, do you think? The Sony FX30 or the Sony A7 IV? The A7 V. A7 V it just came out in December. The FX30 is a better camera for cinema if you want to film video, but I would still get the A7 V. 100%. Does everybody else agree? The FX30 versus an A7 V. What do you guys think? Hey, can I add questions over on hold on, I need to add this. Maybe I'll add this back now. Now that I got TikTok. Hey, over on YouTube, you guys can see my cat. You can see my cat right over here. That's kind of funny. That's her spot. There's the windows cracked over there, so she gets a little bit of sun. I use a Canon. Don't know much about Sony. Got it. All good. Hey, I do over on YouTube. Hey, I do events business. I have a whole sound system and decor, and now I need to extend the media. I'm planning on buying the R10 and then buy good lens in the future. How good is the R10? Are you trying to do photos? Tapi Wamatsi? Are you trying to do video or are you trying to do photo? I was looking to buy a 67 but found a 65 plus 50 millimeter for Canadian is a good deal. I don't know. I would get the 67 for sure. I use Canon. I really want a Canon R7, but I'm tight on budget. Should I get more or wait to get the R10? I would wait and get the R7. Was looking to buy a 67. Yeah, I would get the 67. I want to know the lighting setup. The lighting setup for what I'm using right now? Actually, I just updated my links. You guys can find these links in the profile picture, the first link in the bio. And then on YouTube, it's the first link in the description. I did just add my YouTube setup, this one. These are all the lights that I'm currently using, guys, right here. So I use all Zhiyun lights. Oh, and Viltrox lights as well. Let me see, edit. I need to add these Viltrox tube lights. I forgot. Add products, browse history, Viltrox. The tube lights are really popular. I think they're called K60s. Yeah, here they are. Viltrox K60. So I'll add these as well. I'll do the 1-pack as well. There we go, done. Yeah, so the Viltrox lights, and the tube lights is everything that you see that's around me right now. Plus all the cameras that I'm using. Yeah, the light that you guys see behind me back there, that's a Zhiyun 60 watt. I have another big one right here, another 60 watt. So those are the lights that I'm using in this setup. Plus, I got a big-ass window. R10 for both videos, but more photos. I think the R50V is a better video camera, truthfully. The R10 is fine for video. I'm using one right now. It looks great. But if I'm looking for like dedicated video and like event stuff, the R50V is definitely a better camera. Yeah, Ben, if you keep spamming, I'm gonna block you, bro. I saw a business selling an A7 IV for about 42 bucks. Is that outrageous? Normal? No, that's about what that camera costs, dude. Oh, A7 V? No, A7 V is about $3,000. If it's body only, it is pretty outrageous, but I don't know if that's in USD. There are some settings for the log mode that include the FX30 that the A7 V doesn't have. Yeah, so again, for purely recording, the FX30 is a cinema camera, you know, but the A7 V, if you don't need those cinema features or those video recording features, the A7 V I think is better. Splatoon, R7 have some perks over the R10, but my biggest thing is R7 have bought. Yeah, the R7 is a better camera, dude. Why aren't you productizing your knowledge? I do have some products in my link in bio, guys, like one-on-one calls and stuff like that. But really, at this stage of my content creation career, I'm really trying to learn how to live stream. So my focus is in like getting all of the back end set up and getting like getting the audio right and getting all these things set up right so that later on, look at this Elgato thing. It's still fucking cranking up for whatever reason. I'll have to look at that later. So to answer your question why I'm not productizing it, that's essentially why, is because I am doing it passively. So if people happen to stumble in on my one-on-one calls that I have in my link in bio and in the description of the YouTube video, people can sign up for that. End-to-end course and webinar with automation, brother. You the gatekeeper? Yeah, I'm definitely not the gatekeeper, but also I don't want to be. I'm still building up my authority, So everything takes time, man. Everything takes time. But my one-on-one calls is currently what I have right now. Also, I'm not a grifter. Not to say that anybody that sells a course is a grifter, but I have a steady income. You know what I mean? So I'm not like too motivated to get that running as quickly as possible. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a couple of other things. Are you using a dummy battery? I use dummy batteries. Yep, I do. In some of my cameras, definitely do. The kit lens with the Sony A7 M4 is a 28-70. Better Sony 24 to the 105. I didn't understand what you were saying there. What's the best? Buying cheaper camera, expensive lens? Or expensive camera with cheaper lens? Truthfully, if you're just getting started, I would probably buy a better camera. If you're just a noob. If you're just a noob or a normie, I would buy the nicest camera with an okay prime lens, not a kit lens. And then I would save up to buy a lens that I knew that I liked. I like that. Hi, do you think? Yeah, no, not a sales, not a sales office. Feel free to give me your opinion on the two offers that I have in my link in bio. If you're on TikTok, you can find my link in bio on my profile page. Not a sell. Just give me your opinion on them. I have them priced like pretty cheaply or relatively inexpensively. So give me your opinion on them. Feel free to check them out. Again, not a hard sell. Just give me your opinion on what they look like. Hi, do you think the A7 Mark I is still worth it in 2006 for beginners? The A7 Mark I is probably super duper old. I haven't even seen that camera. What does that look like? Sony A7 I. I probably would buy it if it was, yeah, I mean, it's $500, dude. It's definitely not a good camera, though. Definitely not a good camera, but if this is all you can afford, I would check it out. It's so cheap, It's so cheap that it's worth checking out. The autofocus is probably buns. It probably has packing a 24 megapixel sensor. Sorry, is market. It's leading the market. Sensor. This was the bee's knees back in the day, dude. Yeah, for $500, I think it's worth a try. Canon EOS RP versus the Sony. RP is a full frame sensor. I'd probably get the 6400 from Sony. I have an A7 IV right now, and I'm becoming more videographer. Should I upgrade? You should. You should probably keep the A7 IV if you can, and then just add the FX3 to your lineup. What Canon for shooting photos? R6 Mark III. For sure. Yeah, for sure. For those of you guys that are just joining on a TikTok, welcome in. We're just talking about camera gear. Feel free to answer your question. Also, if you guys happen to see a question in the chat, feel free to jump in and try to answer it yourself as long as you're not a dick. The cool part about bringing people that are all interested in cameras is that some of you guys already have cameras. I have a ton of cameras myself, but it's impossible or unrealistic for me to own every camera. So if you have a camera that somebody has a question on, feel free to take a stab at the question. That's what I was thinking because I do photos still. Yeah, that's what I would do, Grant. If you're making money with your camera gear, it's really important that you guys have two camera bodies. So my setup for like my professional work is an R6 Mark III with a C50. The C50 and the R6 Mark III have the exact same sensor. One is purely video focused and like it's a cinema camera, and the other one is a little bit of a hybrid camera. So if one camera fails, I can get a similar image and look from the other camera. But I can use them, one for photos that like stays at my side, and then I can have one cinema camera rolling. What lens is good for the Canon EOS 100D? Depends on what you're doing, Goran. What are you doing? Hello, when editing video, what would you recommend and why? Premiere Pro, because it's the best. If you want a color grade, you should try DaVinci Resolve, though, for sure. Answer me, please, brother. I have an A7 IV. Which lens is good that can give me anything that has a low aperture? So anything below f2.8. So like f2, f1.8, f1.4, f1.2. I'm a Final Cut love because of one-time purchase. Final Cut is one-time purchase? No way. Just normal pictures of my friends. Okay, cool. DaVinci Resolve is great and free. Everyone should use it. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve is free, but it's only free for like 8-bit video. I think it'll edit 10-bit video, but you can't color grade it. Yo, brother. What lens do you recommend for street photo cam? Sony. Probably something wide, like a 16 to 35. I really like that. Or a nice 35 prime lens or a 24 prime lens. Is the 24 to 70 G Master good? It is. Can I use a PTZ for my live stream? You can. You can. I've never used the PTZ cam, but you can hook it up. I'd have to see the connections. I was thinking about getting one, a cheap one. I saw one from Ozbot for like $1,500. Switching from MFT and got a 67 body, is the Sigma 18 to 50 a really no-brainer? Yeah, that's a nice inexpensive lens. Arifizin. Some of your guys' names, bro. I'm telling you. I forgot about that issue. Interesting that 8-bit issue is only a blocker on Windows. That is interesting. But yeah, I mean, DaVinci Resolve is still cool, and also DaVinci Resolve, if you do want to unlock it or whatever, it's like $200-$300. Or you can get it for free if you buy a Blackmagic camera, which is an interesting proposition, you know? Why are you ignoring me? I didn't see Billy Irish. Hello. I didn't see you. Bless the Zima. Obviously, there's 37 people in here right now. If I missed your chat, I'm sorry. It's not all about you. Bless Zima. Why are you ignoring me? Is the R8 good? The R8's great. Yeah, the R8's great. The Sony 67 with a Sigma 18 to 50 is a good combo. Hell yeah, dude. Nice boy. Sigma 64 with a Sigma 105 f1.4. That's a really punched in lens. Your thoughts about the G85 for beginners that don't have much budget? For people that don't have a lot of budget, just use what you can afford. Use what you can afford, dude. But a speed deck, it comes with it. Yeah, the editing thing. Is that what you're talking about, Billy Irish? Yeah, so I think if you buy a Blackmagic product, they include the software, which is really cool, the unlocked software. So nice. Only Sigma zoom lenses turn the other way compared to Sony lenses. Affordable Canon shooting photos. What's affordable? Got you. Any feedback on the 64? 64 solid, dude. Yeah, I bought a speed deck and came with a full license. That's another option too. Billy Irish, how much is the speed deck from DaVinci Resolve? Let me look at that. Because that might be a way. I was thinking about buying a Blackmagic camera, like a Pocket 6 or something. Speed deck. Blackmagic. Oh, not bad. Not bad. So you guys can buy a new speed deck for $400, and then it comes with the Blackmagic software. That is cool. Yeah, that is cool. This would be another thing that just lives on my fucking desk, though. But it's totally worth it. For $430, and it comes with DaVinci Resolve, hell yeah. Yeah, that's solid. Sounds like a good deal. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That does sound like a good deal. I use my speed deck with my iPad Pro M2. Nice. $300. Oh, Billy Irish, you're in euros, right? Yeah, this goes for anybody talking about budget stuff. If you guys are limited on a budget and you have limited resources, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Just understand that when you make a purchase regarding the camera and you have a tight budget, you're going to be met with some limitations, right? And that's okay. That's okay. The first camera that you buy is likely not going to be your last, right? Ask Billy Irish in here. Billy Irish, how many cameras have you owned over your lifetime, broski? How much is the Blackmagic software on its own? I think the Blackmagic software on its own is about $200, $300 one time. One time. Young Joe Diaz, you have any suggestions? I got a red Komodo as my first cam. Sick, dude. That's wild, bro. There's a little more in the paid version. You can't get the free version. Yeah, the paid version of DaVinci is definitely worth it, bro. I'm a beginner. Just one would you prefer? Can't get it by at all. Number of cameras? Yeah, how many cameras have you owned over your lifetime, Billy Irish? I wish to invoke the fifth. Do you guys have the fifth over there in the motherland? You guys probably do have something like the fifth, though. Bob Marley's in the chat. Is it worth getting the Fuji X-T3 at $660? That kind of sounds like a scam, Bob Marley. Sony ZV-E10, Sony 64, Canon R50. Joshua, depends on what you're doing, broski. No, but you're holding court. Got it. All right. I'll tell you guys mine. My first camera. So I got my first paid gig for photography using my cell phone, a Samsung cell phone. With that cell phone, I was able to book enough product photography gigs to save up $600, $650, I think. And I bought my first interchangeable lens camera. Took me like 6 months of like several jobs over the course of months trying to figure it all out. And my first camera was a Canon M50. Then I took that camera, increased my prices, did a couple more jobs, and then I eventually bought my first big boy camera, which was the Canon R6 Mark I. And then from there, it just kept, and I just kept charging more and more. And 6 years later, here we are. So that's my little story. For those of you guys joining over on TikTok, we're just answering questions about camera gear, camera accessory, lenses, lighting, all that kind of stuff. If you're interested, the cameras that I'm currently using right now, you guys, I'm multi-streaming to YouTube and TikTok, multi-streaming. On TikTok, I'm using the Canon R10 with a 23 millimeter. And then this top one right here, this wide angle, you can see my cat over there, is the R50 with the 16 millimeter. And then I also have this top-down angle right here with a R50V and a 10 to 18 to 50 millimeter lens. And these are the cameras that I'm using right now. R50 with an R10 and an R50V. All crop sensor cameras, and I'm using all Sigma lenses. Best cheap prime lens for the R50. Oh, bro, Renzo, you got to check out these Sigma primes, man. I keep telling everybody, but I don't think anybody's listening, man. The Sigma primes here, these are fucking fire, bro. All these, the 12, the 16 millimeter, this lens, bro, I have 3 of these lenses. Literally, I have 3 of them. This one is so freaking good, dude. Hey, man, can you suggest lights? Yeah, but by the way, guys, if you're interested in all the gear that I'm using, that I'm currently using, on TikTok, you can find it in my profile, the first link in bio in my profile page on TikTok. And then if you're watching on YouTube, it's the first link in the description. There you'll find my Amazon storefront. Feel free to check it out where I have everything here. For the lights in this current setup, guys, what I'm using is... I'm using a couple of these Viltrox tubes. That's what you can see over here to the side. And I have them kind of placed strategically in my little setup here. And then I also have all of these Zhiyun lights. If you guys are seeing that light back there, that's a 60 watt Zhiyun light. And then I have another Zhiyun light. That's my key light that's up here. The lights that I'm currently using is this one. That's the one that's behind me. And I'm using this one. I have this one, but mine is the RGB, and I can change the color of it. So I'm actually using this one. Storefront doesn't play nice overseas. Really? What do you guys see when you're over there, the storefront? Oh, I guess you're on TikTok, though. Billy Irish, I am multi-streaming to YouTube. That's where right now I have 9 viewers over on YouTube. Yay! Ooh, woo. Man, I just want to say thank you for all the information you give. You always answer. I try, Steven. I try, broski. Sometimes on TikTok, especially, TikTok does a really nice job of pushing a lot of people. And then when the questions start coming in, I'm hoping that people don't feel ignored. It's just an abundance of questions that I can't answer all of them. And then YouTube is starting to tick up, man. I'm really, really happy with YouTube. No, it's Amazon not playing nice. Oh, got it. It wants me to connect to Amazon USA account. Oh, got it. Yeah, that's something to consider. Something to consider for me in terms of Amazon, but maybe I wonder how other people solve that issue. Because I'd like worldwide, but there's probably some laws that are in place where Amazon can't Amazon can't promote products over. Who knows? Thanks for letting me know, Billy Irish. I appreciate that. Hi, I need support getting a camera, please. Going to keep going. I'm from Nigeria. The support that I can give you, Joe Nuclear Fuse, is to get a job. Get a job. Should I get a Leica Q2? How much is a Leica Q2? Is that one of the expensive ones? Billy Oiris, I saw a Leica yesterday. Somebody was asking about the M11. Do you know anything about the Leica M11, bro? Leica Q2. Let's find out. If this is one of the pricey ones. No, it's not too bad. Look at this. Not too bad relative to a Leica, right? I mean, Leica to me... Oh, that's a used price. A used camera for $4,200, dude. But Leicas are nice. X100 is a nice camera, but yeah, Leica... One day in my lifetime, I will own a Leica. Nah, bro, not the ooh-woo. Gilgamesh. I'm trying to get better with my sound effects, guys. I used to always use this one because it's like the Patrick face for whatever or whatever. But I did add some new ones. A lot of people call me brother, so I added this one. Brother. Internal, sorry. All good. All good. Overrated. I use the Lumix GX1. This dude is skipping my question. What's your question, bro? I ended up getting the Q2. Nice, dude. Leicas are expensive, man. They definitely are overrated, but I want to be in the club. You know, I want to be considered a peer in the Leica community, right? I had a family member who worked on them. It's really nice. I have a Canon 50-50D. What lens do you... Depends, flow on what you're doing. Now me, am I using Sony a7 II? What camera may I upgrade to? Because I'm just saving. A7 III, A7 IV? I would go for the A7 IV Maxima. Is the R10 good for sports photography? Yeah, it is good for sports photography. Check out the R7 though. Photography. Yeah, but what kind of photography specifically? The 24-70, the 15-35, or 16-35 for that mount? Zach Martinez. I recently got a Canon R6 Mark II coming from a Rebel T7. Big difference, right, Zach? Can you tell me about your experience, bro, going from a Rebel to a R6 Mark II? That's a big jump, bro. Congratulations. Pedro, Sigma 16 or 30 millimeter? You could only have one. If I could only have one, that's a great question. I prefer the 23 millimeter that's in the middle of those two lenses, but between the 16 and the 30, I would choose the 16. This right here is the Sigma 16 millimeter. And for me and my business and what I do, I can do a lot more things with this 16 millimeter than I would with the 30. The 30 is good for like photos and like, you know, portraits and stuff like that. But I would do more damage with the 16 millimeter. Event photography. Yeah, 24-70 would be really nice flow for event photography. A little bit out of my price range. Brand new, the R10 709. Yeah, what I'm saying is that I know that the R10 is cheaper, but what I'm saying is the price difference between the R10 and the R7 is not that wide of a gap. So if you can find a used R7, you'd be really surprised on how close of a price it is to the R10. And the R7 is a far superior camera than the R10. I think it's worth considering. So that's kind of what all this is about, is for like people that are thinking about one camera. Like for example, between the A7 III and the A7 IV on Sony, there's only like a $500 price gap. And the differences between the A7 III to the A7 IV are monumental. And it's like there's like a $400 price gap. I'm like, if you're in that market right there in that price range, just save up for an extra month or two and get the better camera. Let's see. Any more YouTube comments? Do you own an FX30? Been thinking about getting it for short video. I don't own an FX30. The only Sony that I own is the White Samurai. Let me show it to you. This guy right here. This is the ZVE 10-2. Definitely not an FX30, but this is the only Sony that I have right here. I got the all white build and the 23 millimeter lens I was mentioning. 23 millimeters is quickly becoming my one of my favorite focal lengths. Yo, what up, NCL Photography? Is buying an iPhone 16e worth it? I have no idea. Just get an R8 new. Any recommendations for remote podcast? What's a remote podcast? Like a podcast that you do remotely? Like in different locations?
The A7 III should not even be considered anymore. I agree. Save up. Yeah, some people, Andrew, I agree too, but some people don't have that option because of where they live geographically, right in the world. But yeah, I would skip the A7 III. Some people really insist on it still, though. But I'm like, just get the A7 IV, dude. Just save up a little bit more. Does Sigma make a 23? Yeah, I'm using a Sigma 23 on TikTok right here. This lens right here is a 23 millimeter Sigma. And then that up there is a 16 millimeter. Sorry, what lens do you recommend? I missed that part due to network issues. 24 to 70. Seth, what up, Seth? What's your take on the EOS R? I think it's a little bit old. If you can find it for about $500, that's the only way that I would buy it. Wide photographs. My plan is to get an FX30 and starting with a Viltrox lens. To me, Viltrox is king for third-party prime lenses. Viltrox is a cheap Chinese brand. They make okay stuff. Yeah, they're super budget. King in terms of they're very inexpensive, I would agree. Yes, I'm in Texas and want my podcast with people in Puerto Rico. Okay. So what do you currently have right now? How are you gonna manage it from Texas? Do you have other suggestions for the price range of the ZVE10 Mark II, or should I stick with that? The art, for real, I think the ZVE10 II, I bought it when it wasn't $1,000, and it just went over that price. It got expensive. Yeah, it's at $1,200 right now. And like if you primarily want to do video, so the ZVE10 is mostly for like content creation. It obviously takes photos and stuff, and their photos are pretty decent, but it's mainly a content creator video camera, and I use it just for that. So for $1,200, the other camera that is really good, that is half the price, is the R50V. Now the Sony ZVE10 II is like a better camera overall, but the R50V is $600, and it's about like 90% of the camera that the ZVE10 II is. My best buy in 2025 was an A7 V. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. And you got that in December. What focal length to counter crop factor for the ZVE10? I like the 10 to 18, the 18 to 50. Those are all good. I'm using my iPhone 15 Pro Max and a Mayano PD100 mic. Nice. I'll be in Texas and the guest is in Puerto Rico. Okay, so they should. And what challenges are you facing, Conquista? Like, what do you like? It sounds like you have a decent setup, bro. At least to get a podcast going. Do they have a phone and mic? Aiden Mini, or what do you use to switch your camera? I'm using a Stream Deck and OBS. A Stream Deck and OBS. I got a question over for the YouTube guys, actually. Is the little chat window that I'm including right here, is this helpful so that you guys can see the TikTok chat? I'm going to improve this when I get off later. I got another more hour of going live here. I usually go live for 2-hour windows at a time. I'm at the 1 hour mark right now, I think. Yeah, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Don't see it. Yeah, so this is Rick Rock. For TikTok, I'm not broadcasting anything. For TikTok, I just have this because you guys are here. But what happens over on YouTube, people's behavior on YouTube is a lot more different than what it is on TikTok. TikTok really interacts a lot. So far, as people join in and gain a little bit more confidence on YouTube, the chat will go up. But what I'm experiencing and what I'm observing is that the people on YouTube, I'm answering questions for people on TikTok because the comments are coming in a lot, but YouTube viewers can't see the chat that TikTok is having. So what I did is I overlaid a combined chat onto YouTube. But it's kind of small and it's not really optimized just yet, so I need to like kind of work on it and make it a little bit better. I am watching on my phone, but for sure helpful for iPad or bigger screens. Okay, cool. Thank you, Wide Photographs. Yeah, so what I plan on doing is I'm going to make it like transparent so it looks a little bit prettier. And then I'm also going to make it narrower and try to see if I can make the text bigger. I'm going to plan on doing, I don't want to fiddle with it while I'm live. Sir, I want a camera for videography and photography, both under $800. Can you please suggest me one? R50V. The R50V, you guys, is a crazy, crazy good camera, dude. This camera right here, dude. $600, and then see what you can find for $200 or $300 on a lens, and you're fucking good, dude. Yeah, this camera right here. It's I have two of them. Actually, this camera that I'm zooming in right now is an R50V. And then this that I'm holding right here, this is my everyday carry, R50V. The lens, of course, is not included in that, but this is a $1,000 lens. Probably the best lens for APS-C in my opinion. I gotcha. I'm glad I found your page right now. I need this knowledge for podcasting. Yeah, for sure. What are you trying to do, Rick Rock, for your podcast, bro? TikTok is absolutely more social platform and chat limits and filters. Yeah, that's true. I also get in trouble on TikTok a lot more. I get a lot more violations. But YouTube, once YouTube and I build a little bit of an audience and like people gain a little bit of confidence and people start interacting, because it's kind of like a follow the leader kind of thing. When people see other people chatting on YouTube to keep the conversation going. And that's why I wanted to share the combined chat on YouTube so that people can engage with, it's only a one-way engagement thing. And then TikTok will get mad at me if I broadcast the combined chat. You know what I mean? Something to think about. I like streaming on TikTok for sure, but their rules and their whole thing is like, it gets a little annoying. Their terms of service is like, I got a violation earlier because I said the G word, and I don't want to say it again because they'll violate my ass again. They gave me a final warning. Sir, does it 4K? TikTok is absolutely more social, sir. It does 4K 30. It does do 4K 60, but a crop. Better Fujifilm XM5 for casual content. I would go ZVE 10-2 for sure. Is the A7 IV a good buy for someone who wants to get into videography, 70 and 30%? Yeah. Yeah, it's a good hybrid. It's more of a 50-50 camera. Sir, how will be the Sony 64? Sony 64 is nice. I'm just using a MacBook Air and a Shure mic with a Rodecaster Pro. I did buy a 4K webcam. It's okay. Yeah, and Rick Rock, you're looking for like a decent camera next? If you're looking for a decent webcam, bro, the R50V is it, dude. If you can get that with a 16mm lens, if you're looking for a decent camera, guys, for like video and like live streaming, I would say get yourself this camera right here, the R50V, $600, body only, and then buy this lens right here, the 16mm. This one or the 12mm. 12mm is a little wide. It's good if you have like a small desk. The 16 is great. This is what you're watching me on right now, actually. This is the 16mm right here. The 12 would be like even wider than that. You would see like, right now you can see the edge of my screen right here. On the 12mm, you would see like another 6 inches of that. But yeah, I recommend if you're looking for a streaming, like a perfect streaming camera, it's the R50V. right here, and the 16 millimeter or the 12. Depends on your distance from your camera. By the way, guys, these links are all in my storefront, in my link in bio. And then if you're on YouTube, it's the first link in the description down below. Feel free to check it out. I have everything categorized the best that I can. Like my YouTube setup, all my cameras that I own, accessories, filters, mics, all the shit. All the shit. I want to buy a bridge cam, but I'm hesitating. What kind of bridge cam are you looking at? I screenshotted. Yeah, feel free to use the links. I screenshotted a picture you put up. Yeah, it's pretty good. Great info. I need a 12 for my A7 6400. Okay. What about the 64? 64 is great. Ooh, these comments are coming in fast, you guys. For those of you guys just joining on TikTok, welcome in. And YouTube, actually. We're just talking about, hey, I'm getting some likes. I'm getting some hearts. Yay. Oh, that was the wrong one. My bad. I want this one. Thank you, YouTube. Zach Martinez. Is my sun pack with my R6 Mark II good enough for night event photography? What's a sun pack? I don't know what a sun pack is, Zach Martinez. How do you display your images online? What do you mean? My images? These are, this is an actual website. So these are websites. So what I have is a scene where I have my image right here. And then I have another web page down here where I can show you guys web pages of cameras that I'm looking at. Any recommendations for cam mobile enough to travel street photography and indoor sports photography? I mean, all cameras are pretty about the same size, you know. If you want something really small, the R50V, the ZVE-10-2, those are all really small. Hey man, I have a Canon R50, but I want to switch to full frame and starting out to get paid. Which, if you're just getting started and you got a small budget rod, check out the Canon R8. The Canon R8 is really nice. Where do I have it here? Canon R8. This camera has a really nice sensor, relatively inexpensive. It does have a small battery, but the sensor is like, the sensor on this is like the selling point, dude. The full frame sensor on this bad boy is fucking sick. If you have a little bit more money, check out the R6 Mark II. I think the R6 Mark II is $600 more. Let me see if I can find it. R6 Mark II. Here you go. Yeah. The R6 Mark II is an extra $500 right here. And this is a far better camera, but it's either $1,500 or $2,000. And again, this kind of goes into what I was saying earlier. Like, whenever you guys are deciding on cameras, look at the price gap between the next level camera. If it's between $500 to $400, it's totally worth it most of the time to just save up a little bit more for that higher tier camera. An example of this would be exactly what I just showed right now. The difference between a Canon R8, which is a fine camera, is this is $1,500. The R6 Mark II, its big brother, is $2,500 more. That $500 price gap is a no-brainer. No-brainer. Easy. Easy. What lens would you pair with the R6 Mark II or R8 to do concert photography or smaller venues? Depends if you want to do prime lenses. If you want to do prime lenses, I like a 24, but a 24 to 70 f2.8. That's a really expensive lens. They do sell a 28 to 70 f2.8. That's about $1,000. That one's really nice as well. I have a Canon Rebel T7. I want to upgrade to a Sony. What should I get? 6400 for sure. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Another YouTube comment. What would you recommend to reduce echo in a room when recording videos? I have sound panels. So you guys see those things right there? These black things? I have these all over my room, and they're just to cover up the hard wall so they absorb sound. If you can't put those up, you can put up what are called sound blankets, and they're not that expensive actually. Let's see, sound blankets. You don't have to get sound blankets. You can just use regular blankets. But the thing is that, here you go, look, sound blankets, $100. These don't do anything special. They just have holes in them, but they absorb sound. And these are like, you can put them down and take them up. So what you do is you could just hold them up somehow, and then that absorbs a lot of the wall. And then when you're not using it, you can take it down. For my setup right here that you guys can probably see, I have these little hexagons, hexagons all across that wall. And I also have something similar right here in my setup. YouTube, how many? 12 viewers on YouTube. Woohoo! Wait, hold on. What is it? There we go. All right, YouTube. Thanks for sticking around, guys. A74 is 67. A74, dude. Easy. Cruz Maltos. ¿Cuál me recomiendas para video de carros? What camera are you looking at, Cruz? Compa, tengo la 66.1. La 67. Tips for lighting in the background. Should there be any angles that is better than others? Alejandro, for lighting, when I do lighting, I kind of do like a 3-point lighting setup. And the third light is always a, what is it? It's a, let me see here, guys. So a 3-point lighting setup, what I like to do, let me see if I can draw this real quick. So if I have a subject, we'll call this a subject here. If I'm hanging out here and I'm this person, I'd like to have a subject or the light as one of the lights to be a key light. So sitting this at like 45 degrees. And then I like to have another light that is pointed towards the background. So imagine that there is like a light or a wall here. So this would be a wall. And I have the backlight hitting the wall here. This light is pointing towards the subject, like this. This light is pointing towards the wall to light up the wall. And then I have a third light that is a hair light. And this is kind of like a light that points in the back, not directly at me. So notice that this isn't straight on like this. And just play around with this. But this light is usually smaller. And that acts like a hair light. And you can kind of see what I have going on in my background. I have these lights right here acting as hair lights. I have a key light coming in hard. And then I have my lights over here kind of illuminating the background. Did that little drawing make sense, guys? What do you think of my setup? Canon R8 70-200 f4. That's a nice setup, dude. How can I display shots online? I often see people displaying their image with ISO, SS, and aperture. What do you mean? I think people that have images up and have their settings, they just add text. What lens do I get for the A7C II? Whatever you want, man. What are you trying to shoot? Canon R6 Mark II or A7 IV for videography? Both are, Finn, that's kind of like Apple versus Samsung. Both are great. If the A7 IV has a full-size HDMI, I would get that. Does the A7 IV have a full-size HDMI? If this has a full-size HDMI, I would get this. Yeah, it does. So I'd probably get this. The full-size HDMI is really nice. YouTube, absolutely not. Hey, this is Andrew. What are we talking about, Andrew? Oh, I have a question. Is the new MacBook Neo good for editing and photography stuff? I actually don't know. Andrew, you might know, right? I think that one is just a tablet, so it might do like light apps. I don't know if it'll do full on apps. Yeah. Yeah, because it's my understanding that the new MacBook, the Neo or whatever it's called, is just a tablet with a tablet with a built-in keyboard. So it's not like a full-fledged PC. Yeah, it's a Chromebook, exactly. It's just a tablet. Is it worth getting the A7 IV instead of the 4? Yep. Yeah, for sure. If you can afford the A7 V, for anybody. Now, I'm not the kind of influencer or content creator that tries to try to keep you from spending your money. If you got it, spend your money. That being said, I'll never ask you or encourage you to go into debt or to use next month's rent on buying a camera. I'll never say that, right? If you have the money, spend it. But generally speaking, always buy the nicest camera that you can afford. If you're looking at the A7 IV, but the A7 V is within your budget and you can swing it, get the A7 V, the newest camera, without even with zero hesitation. Seth, it has the same processor. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was a tablet. It's a third-party zoom comparable with first-party zoom and quality on Canon. They're comparable. The Canons are going to be better, though. Yeah, the planes from Emiratis Qatar are waiting to fly again in mute. Okay. Can you not spam? Yeah, no spamming. If you spam, you get blocked. I bought a Nikon D800. What do you think about it? I don't think about it. Best laptop to buy and why? Probably one of the newer MacBooks. I don't own anything Mac or Apple. I get Windows products. The laptops that I'm using right now, guys, that I use for my work is, I actually linked it the other day. My work bought me this laptop here. It's a 5090. This one says 5080. I couldn't find the 5090 variant. I don't think they exist anymore. But I got the 5090 laptop. This is big chungus, though. I have it sitting right here, actually. This laptop is fucking intense. But for what I'm doing right here in these streams, I have a custom PC that I built last year. MacBook Air, I mean, again, I don't have much experience with MacBook Airs, but my thinking on MacBooks is, as great as they are, you can't upgrade them. And they're super expensive, but they are premium pieces of tech. My problem with them is that they're expensive and you can't upgrade them. And for me personally, your use case might be completely different, but how I look at it is, over the years, for the past 6 years, I started with like simple product photography, and then I eventually got into video editing, animation rendering, graphic design, and like my computers needed to upgrade with me. And I know if I would have gotten a MacBook and I needed to do 4K editing, 10-bit video, editing on MacBooks to me is like super limiting because I always have to make compromises. Now with a Windows PC or a Windows laptop, if I need more RAM, if I need more space, it also doesn't cost an arm and a leg. This was several years ago now, but laptops are a lot more expensive. What cam? Right now on TikTok, I'm using a Canon R10. Also, when it comes to like editing and stuff, if you don't need to be mobile and you can like have a place to work, get a desktop. But then again, right now desktops are also computers are expensive right now. But the price that you get, I mean the hardware that you get in a laptop is so much like lower than a full-fledged desktop, and the price is incredibly high. So you get a lot more bang for your buck in an actual desktop than what you would a laptop. And unless you actively, like, the reason why my work bought me this one right here, this laptop, is because I work from home part of the week. If I had a full-time job at my work, I would have asked for a desktop that doesn't move. It just lives there. But because I have to be back and forth, I needed a powerful laptop to carry back and forth to work. Is the Darktable a good software to use for photo? I've never used it. Yeah, I've never used it. What laptop do you recommend then? Truthfully, I don't recommend any laptops. I recommend building your own PC or getting a pre-built PC. But when you're looking at a laptop, I would say get something with dedicated graphics and like at least 16 to 32 gigs of RAM. At least. That's why I'm looking at this laptop. This one has a dedicated GPU and 32 gigs of RAM. You can also upgrade the storage on these typically. Yeah, I did upgrade. My current PC is a 5090 with 64 gigs of RAM, and I upgraded to 4 terabytes of storage. I want to buy a Nikon P100, P1100. Is it good? I don't know. Is it good? Let's find out. Released in early 2025. Oh, what is this? Is this one of those cameras that has like 1200, 3000 millimeter zoom? I don't know, dude. I don't know if I'd spend this much money on this kind of camera. I guess this is like a plane spotter's dream. Is this optical zoom or digital zoom? Andrew, if you're still in here, check out this fucking camera, bro. 24 millimeter to 3000. Yeah, that's wild, dude. 24 millimeters to 3000 is crazy. I guess that's why it's expensive, but I don't know. You'd have to do your own research on this camera. I don't trust it. Today I bought an FX30 with a Sigma 17 to 55. Is that good? Yeah. Yeah, that is good. I never even heard it. Yeah, I've had a couple people ask me about this. When he said that, I was like, I remember that I was, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is that camera that has like crazy optical zoom. 24 to 3000. So it's meant for like plane spotters, people that want to look at moons and shit like that. But for me, it's if it's an optical zoom, which they're saying that it is, 1000. I guess it's appropriately priced, dude. I think it's appropriately priced. But it's not an interchangeable lens, so it's a fixed lens system, right? Can you suggest a camera for a beginner filmmaker, like grade 1 filmmaker? What is a grade 1 filmmaker? And Daddy AE, what is your budget, bro? I've never even heard of this. Yeah. Yeah. This is for like bird watchers and hobbyists and stuff. I'd be curious. You don't need a lot of megapixels when you're at 3000 millimeters, right? I'm a complete beginner and I want to become a photographer. What is the best camera to get under 300? Under 300 bucks, I'd probably get like a little point and shoot. That camera is for dedicated purposes, as you said. You're not doing gig work with that. Yeah, I don't think so either. I'd have to look at it to like, you know, $1,000 for me sounds a little bit too expensive. It sounds a little bit too expensive for what I would use or my use case. It does, if it's actual 3000 optical zoom, it does sound interesting though. What the fuck are you using a flash at 3000? Look at this little flash, bro. What are you using a flash for at 3000 millimeters? That's funny. Yeah, very unique use case for birds, airplanes, space. Under $1,000. Just get the primes. I would get the little primes, Doug Judy. $425 for the R50. R50 is nice. Hey man, what do you think about the Canon M50 with a Sigma? The 30 millimeter is a little tight. Buildy boys. I like the M50 though. I would choose for video the 16 millimeter, but the 30 is nice if that's the kind of punch in that you want. It's a little punched in. What lens for Sony? APS-C around $500. Probably a prime, like a 35 or a 50 millimeter prime. Good alternative photo editing apps aside from Lightroom. I don't know anything besides Lightroom. I think Affinity has a free product, but why not use Lightroom? Lightroom's the best, dude. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a nifty 50, guys. You can't go wrong with a nifty 50. I'm thinking about getting a 2470 f4 Zeiss or the Tamron. If it's between those two, I'd get the f2.8 Doug Judy. Ever tried a I've never tried that Fujifilm, Gab. Capture One is another one, but there are some free tools. Yeah, Affinity is one. Also Pixelmator. Yeah, there's a bunch of free ones, but I just use Lightroom. I've had a subscription to Lightroom. A subscription to the Adobe Cloud for like ever now. Why you like Nikon, bro? Because Nikon is the best, bro. Brother. Do you shoot film? I do have a film camera. I have shot film, but it's expensive. I only do it sometimes. I carry it as like a third or fourth camera on sets so that if I'm working with like models, I can take portraits of them on film. Oh, and I'm planning to change my body to either an Alpha 9 or an A7 III. The first ones, those are a little bit old, right? Because the Alpha 9 has, what is the Alpha 9 on? A9 IV, A9 III? Nikon better than Sony? No, not at all. What Nikon camera do you recommend? Probably the Z50. I like the Z50, the Z8s. The Z6 I think is really nice too. Is prosumer camera still worth it? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, TikTok user, that the A9s and the A7 IIIs, I mean, there's better versions of them. What do you think on the Canon 250D for casual users and beginner? I don't think much about the D series cameras. If that's what you want to use it though. Which brand is your favorite Canon? A9 III. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you want the A9, I mean, if that's what you want, get it. But I guess if you understand that there are some compromises in how old the camera is now, and you're cool with those compromises, you know. Comment from YouTube. Do you have a medium format? I do not have medium format coming. Honestly, just wondering. I was watching Peter McKinnon video. He shot with one. I was like, damn, those medium format is sick, dude. They're expensive though, man. Medium format is expensive, especially the film, all that stuff. I saw that video as well. It looked cool. But film, if you know how to shoot a film camera, dude, some of those photos are pretty cool. I did do some film photography a while back. Let me see if I can even find them. Where did I put them? I don't even know where I put them. Let me see. Unique photo. Wow, this was a long time ago. Yeah, I did some these are film photos that I did on a photo shoot one time. These are PG-13, but they're a little risque. But I was just practicing, and like a lot of them came out like super blurry. Let's see. But I was just getting the hang of it. I was working on set with a model. These ones came out really nice. But anytime that I have an opportunity to be on set with models, I always take my film camera with me. This is a practice roll right here. Yeah, these are all shot on film. And I missed focus on this one because I suck. These ones came out okay. But yeah, film is really cool, dude. Film is really, really cool. Suffers from flickering lights. Can you suggest some lenses for the Sony ZV-E10? The Sigma lenses are really nice. What camera are you using now? This is a Canon R10. If you're watching me on TikTok, if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm using a R50. Is the R6 Mark I good? Z6 Mark I? Yeah. What camera am I using? On YouTube, I'm using a R50 with an R50 with a 16 millimeter. I need to exit out of some of these. I have like 1,000 Google, 1,000. What are they called? Pages open. Flickering lights is a frame rate shutter speed issue to the TikTok person who asked. What do you think about the Canon 6D? I don't think about the Canon 6D. How did you get the stream key to stream on TT? I don't have a stream key. I just do a virtual camera over to TikTok Live. So I have I'm running OBS and I'm running TikTok Studio at the same time. I was about to yell at yeah, Caster Labs. I might change that to like 10 minutes. But one of the things that I'm trying to do with that animated Caster Labs thing is like I'm trying to get people that are over there, because there's 8 people watching over on YouTube, and like usually there's only like 1 or 2 people commenting regularly, which is fine. I get it. I'm not trying to be too pushy, but in order and in an effort to try to get more people engaging over on YouTube, which is a goal of mine, I have a automated message that comes out every, I think I have it set to 5 minutes, but I might bump it up to 10 or 20 minutes. Just to get people like, going. 28 people over on TikTok. Ever since I changed that title, Andrew. As soon as I changed that title, bro. Let's see. Flickering lights. Which is worth it more, Fuji X-T30 or the XT50 looks cool, dude. So you're streaming in TikTok Studio? I am. Yep. Judy, I want to do IRLs, but I don't know how to stream on both. What are your thoughts on the DJI Osmo 3? DJI Osmo 3 is solid, dude. Should I choose the Pocket 4K or Pocket 6K for practicing? I don't know. Probably the 6K, right? I had to go back to TikTok to check out the stream because you're doing exactly what I was considering. So today I'm thinking about setting the ATEM multi-stream at OBS and use a virtual cam. Oh, bro, do it, bro. Absolutely. Shoppy from YouTube. Yay! I'd love to shoot more film with my Canon AE1, but my local shop is so expensive to develop film. Shoppy, have you looked at, are you in the United States? Because I know that print film houses online are sometimes cheaper. I'm fortunate that I live in a major city, and the shop that I go to matches the prices of online shops. They won't do same day, though. They'll do like, it'll take like a week to develop the photos. It is expensive to develop film, though. If anybody's curious, like if you're doing film photography, the cameras themselves can be relatively inexpensive, and the film itself is relatively inexpensive, maybe $8 to $12 if you want like normal film. But to get it developed, assume that per picture, it's about 50 to like a dollar, 50 cents to a dollar per photo. So if you have 32 or 34 photos in a roll of basic 30 millimeter film, or 35 millimeter film, I should say, it's either $16, $18, $20 or up to $30 depending on the shop that you go to. I got a 2020 Canon EOS 60D 8mm and get a second body, or should I upgrade? It might be time to upgrade, bro. Should I keep the A7R Mark II and get a second one? If you can, Doug Judy, I would keep your A7R II and use it as a backup. I've tried the A7CR and it's perfect for me actually, but the budget didn't fit. Yeah, if I were to get another Sony, I've been really looking at the A7CR. I'm good on film. It's cool in theory, but nah. It is cool, man. I like it a lot, though. It's very analog. And, like, when I get the photos back, it's, like, always it's a nice feeling. It's very nostalgic. The AE1, though, if you look at the prices of the AE1, like a camera that I recommend, like, you can find them pretty inexpensively. So that's... I got mine for free, though. Yeah, you can get one for like $200, $300. Excellent condition. It's a cool camera, man. Let me show you mine. It's just cool, you know? It's made of solid metal. It's from the 1970s, but it is expensive. My sister gave me this camera for free. She said somebody gave it to her, and they never used it, so I cleaned it up and just... it's not in the best condition. It has a little bit of a squeak in it. But it's from the 1970s, so... My shop is like 12 to 17 per roll and 27 for black and white developments. Any opinions on Lumix G85 as a first? No opinions on the G85, but I have heard a lot of people do use it. Best budget Fuji? I don't think that exists, bro. A budget Fuji film? Noob here. Hey, noob. Yeah, film is expensive, dude. You can develop black and white at home, though. Noob here. Is there a cheaper alternative to a Hasselblad X-Pan camera? Just love the ratio of X-Pan. I don't know, dude. I'm not. Hasselblad is like the Bugatti of cameras to me. Maybe not the Bugatti, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like way out there. Thoughts on the A7 III and how to get better? Use it. Use it every day. Dude, I have a budget of 3,000 USD. What's the best camera and lens I can buy? 3,000 is a great budget, bro. You can, I would get like an R6 Mark II or an A7 IV. That should be about $2,000, and then you have 1,000 to get like a decent lens. And the lens, Johan, would be based off of what you like to shoot, you know? You should pick up a Nikon F3, best film camera. It's bulletproof, true workhorse. I think I'm good on film. If I get another film camera, it'll be another Canon though, because Nikon is. I'm kidding, Nikon users. Any opinion on the Nikon 200 to 500? Not really. Tamron to me doesn't have the best build quality. Anytime I see a broken lens, it's always from a fucking Tamron. It's always a Tamron. But Johan, $3,000 budget is nice, bro. I would get something like let's see, let's go to B&H. Let's check out the A7 IV. Oops. A7 IV. B&H is my my favorite website. I'm sure other websites do it too. But you can add to the compare feature. You can add this to compare, and then you can go select another camera. R6 II. And then you can put them side by side. And these two cameras are equivalent, right? And again, here's another thing added to what I was saying earlier. When you compare apples to apples across across brands, Sony is always more expensive. There are a couple of features that are nicer on the A7, but you know, so you can see right here. So I would get something like this, one or the other, and then you have either $800 or an extra $1,000 to buy a decent lens. Sergio, hello. I want to start in photography. My budget is 1 to 2K. What can you recommend? For photos, probably a crop sensor camera, like an R10 or a 6400 from Sony. And then a lens, probably like an 18 to 50, something with a little bit of flexibility. Or the R50 or the... what would be the equivalent to the R50 in Sony, you guys? Brother, where can I get a Ricoh? Brother. I don't know, dude. GR2? Don't they have a Ricoh GR3? Recently got the Canon R50 as my first camera. Any tips? Use it, Anna. What are you using it for? Canon R50 is sick, dude. I love the R50. Just get a decent lens, I would say, and then use it every single day, dude. The R50V is a fantastic camera. ZVE10, the original ZVE10, right? See, if it's between a ZVE10 1 and an R50, I would totally choose the R50. Sony or Fuji? Depends if you want to do photo or video. I love to take pictures using it, but mostly found tips using it for vids. Yeah, because it's mostly a video camera. It does take great pictures, though. But it just doesn't have a viewfinder, Anna. Mm-hmm. As far as tips though for taking your pictures, just get a nice little prime lens, and then use it. My autofocus focus ain't working, but my Nikon DSLR, I've tried everything, but nothing works. Yeah, I don't know, man. It might be time for a new camera. R50 all the way. Yeah, I think so too. I just got the 7200 G Master 2. How do I customize the buttons for it? You do it on the camera. Your camera should recognize that the lens has buttons now, and then you can customize the buttons. Is aperture mode bad? No, I use aperture priority all the time. ZVE10 is nice. I don't like the ZVE10. I like the ZVE10 II, but it does overheat. It can overheat. It's small, you know. You got a Fuji X-T100. The EVS broke and screen is cracked. Did I get scammed for $270? Yeah, you definitely got scammed, bro. Can I buy a 6D Mark II as a beginner? You can do anything you want, Twist. I just got it. I would then replace it, dude. I would return it. One thing that you guys got to keep in mind if you are buying used cameras, I will never tell you to buy from places like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. I would only ever recommend you guys websites that are authorized resellers that have a warranty, a guarantee, customer service, and a return policy. I would never buy a camera from Facebook Marketplace personally or from eBay. I'm sorry, but that is an expensive ass lens to be buying and then asking a question like that. What lens was it? The 70 to 200 G Master? You know, Andrew, I have come to realize, man, that when you put yourself out there, around content creation, the idea of content creation, it's easy to project our own life circumstances on others, like other people that are watching us. So like my income and my life experiences, I used to think like, why the hell would you do something like that? But I've come to realize that there are people out there, the world is very big, that just have disposable income and just have fucking money to burn, right? So other people that they might be like 25, 30, they might have like great jobs, 6-figure jobs, that just like shit and just like to buy stuff. So our own life experiences may not be the same as the people that are our audience is. So that kind of reminded me, what you just said there is like, yeah, I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, thank you for the heartbeat. Appreciate it. Brother, I'm thinking about buying a camera. Which one will be better for videos? Canon 600D? I don't know, bro. I wouldn't buy any of those cameras for video. Hell no. I got a separate flash for it too. Nice. He just called you broke. No. Definitely didn't call you broke. But think about it. If somebody has a $2,500 lens and that lens is expensive, dude. Let's look it up. How much is it? How much is that lens? Let's look it up. How much do you guys think it's he just called you broke? You guys are out of pocket, man. Sony 24 to 70. I had to learn that the hard way, man. I'm broke too, bro. This month I'm on rice and beans. Yeah, dude, look at this lens, dude. This is the G Master 2, $2,500. It has programmable buttons, and the question on it, no shade, not making fun of it, but the question was, how do you program these buttons? And like that question is coming from somebody that didn't even open the manual. You know what I mean? Didn't even do one lick of research. Like one, no disrespect to the person that asked that question, but that is like such a surface level question. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody comes in that's trying to be a photographer and asks, I feel the same way about people that ask what my settings are. I'm like, bro, what's your setting for cinematic? You know what I mean? There's different levels of poor. There is different levels of poor for sure. There's also different levels of rich, dude. That lens is 7 bomb. What do you think of using a new iPhone? I use my phone for video content all the time. I mean, like, to be fair, who reads the manual? I read the manual. I always read the manual. If you don't read the manual, pro gamer Sean, I always read the manual, dude. I at least keep it handy. And when I have a question, I reference the manual all the time. I always download the full PDFs of every camera, every piece of tech that I own. I always look it over. At least glance on it to do not just a quick start guide. I always look at it. Always. Always. I can tell you, though, that when I'm building something from IKEA, I do toss that fucking manual away, though. The building instructions. Canon R5 Mark II. Thumbs up, dude. Canon R5 Mark II is sick. Oh, 70 to, oh, he had the 70 to 200. Yeah. Even crazier, dude. Even crazier. Let's see, 70 to 200. Let's look at that lens. Dude, this is what I'm saying, man. Sony, people say that Sony lenses are cheaper and all this shit, but they are not cheap, dude. Is it this one? Woo, 3200. Fuck my life, bro. It's probably because it comes with all this other bullshit right here. $3,200. Fuck, dude. No way, man. Can you check Fuji X100? I love the Fuji X100. I have one of those. Sad Frax. What up, broski? Hey, man. Planning to buy a Canon EOS 3000. Is the Canon EF 3080 good for shooting at 400? I've never shot at 400 ISO. Or shot that lens and camera. Best lens for the XS20, please. What are you trying to shoot? Get Lee. What's up, my brother? Thoughts on the A7 III? A7 III is a little bit older, but if that's what you can afford, do it. Oh, actually, I need to shut my my blinds here. 1 second, guys. No, it's still fine. Brother. I have a window right next to me, and it's like the sun is like beating down on the cameras that I'm using. The sun will definitely make your cameras heat up a lot faster. Do you have a cam horizontal since you're doing multi-stream? I do. I have two cameras. So one cam is horizontal. Is that a word? And another camera vertical. I have a Sony 6600 and I'm thinking of buying 11 millimeter. Do you think it'd be good purchase? Depends, Jen, on what you're doing. 11 millimeters is really wide. If you want that kind of look, hell yeah, dude. I want to get into photography. Planning to buy the Sony Alpha 7 III. Do it. Do it, Hale. Or the 50 to 150, also a mid photographer. Should I get the 67 or invest in the A7 IV? If you got I don't know how to say your name. If you got the funds for an A7 V, get that. If you have the funds for the 50 to 150, get that. That is about the G Master 50 to 150 is $4,000. 50 to 150 is, I just looked it up earlier. Look at this fucking lens, you guys. That's $4,000. It's a killer range, though. This is stupid. And then the A7 V is $3,200. Best lens for the XS20? Probably the 18 to 50. I would probably do the 18 to 50 or the 17 to 40. Either this lens right here for the X mount, right here. I would do this. I would say if you can afford this, this is the lens. One lens for everything. Avocados. I still remember old me saying I'll never find another lens after this year. There you already 3 by now. Never say that, dude. Those are like words that you'll never stay true to. The 50 to 150 G Master, the Tamron. I would do the G Master, dude. Is the Lumix S9 good? I've been looking at the Lumix S9. I think it's a cool camera. Got to swap the screen back. Oh, my bad. My bad. What's the best compact camera for under $1,000? I really like the R50V, man. I can't talk enough about the R50V. The R50V is like... The R50V is $600, dude. $620 for this bad boy. It's got what you need. Paris, Hawaii photographer. Just upgrade to the R6 Mark III. It's fucking right, dude. That Paris, that camera is like a lot of people's dream camera, dude. Congratulations. What lens do you have, Paris? But like is the difference between the 50 and 150 and the 35 far aside from the variable aperture? The 50 to 150 is a G Master lens, dude. It's the top of the line lens. Yes, absolutely. The other one's a Tamron. What the fuck? Yeah, 100%. But the R50 has bad lens selections. It does not. It does not have bad lens selections. But like the difference between the 50 and I already said that is Leica good. Leica's good, yes. Leica is good. What's a cheap lens for the R50V? Cheap lens, the Sigma lenses. The Sigma lenses are all really nice. All these right here, these are all lenses for the R50V, except for these Sirui lenses up here. By the way, if you guys are interested in the stuff that I'm talking about right now, you can find it on TikTok. It's in my link in bio in my storefront. And then if you're on YouTube, it's the first link in the description. I have everything kind of categorized here as all of the gear. I own all of this stuff that's in here. It's a beast. Thanks. I mainly use the 24. That's nice, dude. 35, 50, and 85. Nice! Dude, you got everything you need, Paris. Congratulations. The only thing you were missing was the latest and greatest camera from Canon. R6 Mark III is sick. Congratulations. My dream is to get an 85 1.2 and a 70. Ooh, you want to see something crazy, Paris? Look at this. 70 to 200. They do have the Z model, which is the newer one. But this 70 to 300. And then you got to check out this, dude. The 85 f 1.2. Check out the optics on this fucking thing. Oh, hold on. If I can take it off. There it is. Check out the front element on this bad boy. Ooh. Ooh. Hold on. This fucking thing's a beauty, dude. Yeah, this is my portrait lens. Whenever I have a portrait job, that's the lens that I take. Ah, so nice. Yeah, dude, it is nice. Do you think it's still worth to get an A7 III or should I just go for the A7 IV? Go for the A7 IV. Is that the EF 70 to 300L? No, it's the 70 to 200. Almost $200. I'm thinking about using it for long streams. My Android is 4 years old with an average cam, so I want a second-hand cam for long streams and a bit of photography too. Nice. Best budget hybrid camera. Best budget, probably the R50V, man. R50V is tough to beat, dude. I'm telling you. What camera are you using for vertical shots? For this shot right here, I'm using, let's see. I'm using the R10. So this is the R10 with the 23, and then this is the R50 with a 16 millimeter. And then the top-down shot, this shot right here, this is a R50V with an 18 to 50 millimeter lens. And I use it for like showing top-down desk and like when I create content and stuff on my desk. For those of you guys that are just joining on TikTok, hello, welcome in. We're just talking about cameras, lenses, lights, gear. If you guys happen to be interested in any of the things that I have that I'm using at the moment, you can find all of the stuff that I'm using in the first link in my bio. It's an Amazon storefront. Feel free to check it out. If you're on YouTube, it's the first link in the description below. There I have everything categorized from my YouTube setup to all the cameras that I own, all the lenses. 100% of the stuff that's on here I own myself. Most of it I paid with my own money. Some stuff was given to me by brands, but the majority I own all. I own all of it. R50V in Indonesia are just below the A7 III price. What Sony camera for beginner shooting photo and video? 6400 probably. Should I get the Nikon Z52 for photography? If you want, Felix. If you want. If you guys are just joining over on TikTok and you haven't followed yet, consider doing so. I go live multiple times a day, multiple times a week, just answering as many questions as I can. When the chat starts getting going, though, it starts to become hard. YouTube, 8 viewers on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Wow. Starting to get warm in my room. Got to close the blinds. The sun is beating down on that side of the window. What would you suggest for $200 secondhand? Probably an A6000. An A6000. I don't know if you can probably stream with that. Ooh, even the A6000. $200 is tough, bro. I would just save some more money. I would just save some money because I wouldn't go anything below the A6000. Thinking to buy a Sony A7 IV. Should I go for it? If you have the money, hell yeah. For doing something professional because its full frame is necessary. Not always. I've done some professional work on crop center cameras. Hello, I have a mount that broke on one of my lenses. You think it's an easy? It is not an easy cheap fix. No. Thinking to buy an A7 IV. Can I try hard filming with a ZVE? What's hard filming? Wolfie. Planning to buy an A6400 for photo and video. By the way, I don't have knowledge about cameras. Thank you. Get it. Zerum. The 6400 is nice, dude. For my second body, which would be better, R5 or R6 Mark II? What's your first body? Bean a Pino. Bean a Pino. Best zoom lens for the ZVE10 low light. Probably the 17 to 40 Sigma lens or the 18 to 50 f2.8. I was thinking of going for Nikon 5600, and after I start earning a bit more, switch to a better one. How much is the D5600? I don't know much about Nikons, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like the Nikon D series cameras. I like the new ones, the Z cameras. The problem with these cameras, guys, is like I truly believe that these cameras are just like a waste of money. Especially if you know you're gonna upgrade soon. Like what I would do is just save my money and buy like a Nikon Z50, you know? Yeah, I'd save my money and buy something like this. Or the Z30. Yeah, I'd get something like this over that other camera any day. $600. I might buy this one day. This Nikon Z30. They look really cool. $700. Yeah, I'd buy this all day. $150? Yeah, man. $150. I wouldn't even hesitate. What if I use a Sony lens and adapter for the R50V? I don't know if a lens adapter works from Sony to Canon. Yeah, I mean, I just don't recommend people wasting their money on cameras that are like bridge cameras or gap cameras. I'm like, just wait. Is the Fuji X-T50 a significant upgrade over the X Pro 2 when it comes to image results? I don't know, Sarah. I don't know. I think the X-T50 is nice, though. Fuji X-T50. Hell yeah, dude. Look at this fucking thing. Yeah, this is the one that I was looking at. XT5, XT50, 40 megapixels. Fucking right, dude. Should I buy a camera secondhand? I found the 61 for $400. You can buy a camera secondhand. Just buy it from a reputable reseller that has a return policy and customer service. Unless you're a working professional, I am the mind that you should use your phone to master videography when you buy a camera and want to save for it. Yeah, oftentimes that's great. That's a great advice, Andrew. Like if your option is to buy something that's $200 or you have a newer phone, just use your phone until you can save up like $700, $800, $1,000. At $700, you'd be really surprised at how much the world of cameras opens up to you in terms of your options. Should I wait for the R7 Mark II? I would wait, yeah. Yeah, I would wait for sure. Thanks. Yeah, the XT50, Sarah. Solid, bro. Watch gear reviews on the two cameras you're to consider, research them, and decide. The only problem I'm having is that how to keep the cam going because it has a 20 min max limit on vids. How do you long streams limits without the heat? I do. So I use I use OBS, and I don't film. This is all just a live feed. I've streamed on these cameras for like 6-7 hours at a time. So if you're trying to stream on a PC or a laptop, just use a capture card and use the live feed, disable all of the sleep modes, and then just use it out of just use the live feed for your podcasts or your lives and all that stuff. Sorry, out of topic, but what are your thoughts on? I don't have any thoughts. I don't even know who that person is. I know he's a content creator and that he looks like me. This is for when people are buying a camera, you are buying into a lens ecosystem, solid, or the software, and you should buy the ecosystem that you plan to stick with. Yeah. Switching brands, like switching from Canon. And here's the thing that happens, like this happens all the time. People that switch from Canon over to Sony start with like a Rebel T5 or a Rebel T7i, and then they say, this shit sucks, Canon is awful. And then they said, oh, get a Sony. And then they get a Sony and they see, but they buy like a $1,000 Sony. I'm like, yeah, dude, you had a $500 Canon camera from 15 years ago and you just bought a 5-year-old $1,000 Sony. Like, there's no comparison, right? And then you get stuck in that Sony, like, that Sony ecosystem, and it's not a bad ecosystem to be in, but like people that switch from Canon to Sony, I asked them, like, what did you start with? It's always 90% of the time, it's always like a Rebel camera. I'm like, well, no shit, you hated it, dude. No account. My phone is old and it's bad, and I have taken good photos with my phones, but it's bad in videos. Better than the R50V, the Z30? I don't know, actually. The Z30 is nice. This is why I want to buy it. I want to compare this to the R50V. The R50V has higher megapixels. The R50V, look, we can probably, let's see. Can I, let's add this to the compare. And let's put the R50V. I think they're pretty close, dude. So, yeah, they're about the exact same price. This has 20 megapixels. This has 24 megapixels. No stabilization. Yeah, they're very comparable, dude. Same ISO. Yeah, they are almost exactly the same. 14-bit. Ooh, this has log footage. If this doesn't have log footage, this makes this camera better. If this has a Z-log or N-log, whatever it's called on Nikon, they're almost the exact same camera, dude. Yep, same resolution. No viewfinder, no viewfinder. It looks like it has better autofocus. 209. I'd have to look at this. 209 autofocus points versus 4,000. That's kind of weird. Yeah, they're almost the exact camera, the exact same camera. So, with the exception of the shit cameras he's telling you to avoid, all cameras are good now. Yeah, any camera within the past 5 to 7 years, maybe closer to 5 years, and today, they're all really good, dude. All of them are really good. What is the best cheap setup for wildlife? I'm thinking about the R50. That lens is buns. That lens, the camera's good, but that lens is fucking awful. I know that it's probably the most affordable. If you insist on getting that 100 to 400 millimeter lens, I would encourage you to buy it used. Do not buy it new because I think it's like $700 new, and you could probably find it for $500 used. So I should use a dummy battery with an AC adapter to avoid overheating. Yeah, you should use a dummy battery for sure. Yo, remember me from yesterday? If not, it's all good. Thoughts on the R6 Mark III? That's a great setup, bro. How many lights do you use right now? I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights. I have a lot of lights on right now, actually. I should probably turn this one off. There we go. They're all pretty low, though. But the reason why I have a lot of lights is because this view right here requires more light. A little bit more light. So when I need to kick this on, I turn this on a little bit. So just get an extra fill. Is the A7 III good for filmmaking? A budget-friendly softbox light? I like the Zhiyun lights. I was showing people earlier these lights here. My YouTube setup. The tube lights are really good as accent lights, but these are the lights that I use. Everything that I use is from Zhiyun. This is a good one. This is a good one, and then you can get the Pro right here, and this comes with a Bowens mount adapter. You need the Bowens mount adapter. That's like really important to have, because when you have the Bowens mount adapter, you can literally do this thing right here. $40. Once you get this for $40, you can add a crazy ass modifier, which is what you see over there. That big ass light over there. It's a tiny little light that's like this big, like a cube. And then I have a big ass modifier on it. Hello. Can you recommend a Canon R10 with an RF 18 to 150 lens moving from the Canon? I don't like that lens, the 18 to 150. It's good to start with, fine, but I would buy something with a constant aperture. So the Z30 have a bigger lens choice because of the Z mount, I think. Probably, but the RF mount, you can use the EF mount with an adapter. So people that always criticize the lens options from the RF mount really forget that the EF mount still exists, which the EF mount has a massive library of lenses. Like an incredibly large library of lenses. So, and all you need to do is buy like a $50 adapter, $80 adapter, and now you have all of the EF lenses available to you. Which lens do you recommend for the R10? I like the Sigma lenses, guys. I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll keep saying it because I know new people join all the time, and I'm happy to revisit these things. But these Sigma lenses right here that I'm showing, these are all fire, dude. Also, my kind of work rarely has me like shooting long distances, but for when I need like the extra range, I always get a 70 to 200. Yeah, I know it's crazy expensive, but this lens is totally worth it. This lens right here, 70 to 200 f2.8, part of the holy trinity of lenses. I own a ZVE10 and a 16 to 180 f4 lens for my CSI job. Is it good? CSI job, like crime scene investigation? That's pretty good. That's a cool job. Mm-hmm. Crime scene investigation. That's sick, dude. I don't know if I could do that job. I think I'd be throwing up everywhere. I'd ruin every crime scene. My friend suggesting Campbell Rebel T3i about it has very bad autofocus. Yeah, I don't recommend any Rebel cameras. Cool job, except they have seen some shit. Literal shit sometimes, too. Man, that'd be crazy to work in CSI. Do you need your camera for a crime scene? I figured you guys would be using something a lot more premium than a ZVE10. Traveling soon. I have a Sony A7 IV. Should I get a 16 to 35 or 20 for a vlogging trip? Ooh, that's a good choice, dude. That's a good choice. That's tough. 24 to 70, I think, is what I would choose. But just know that 24 millimeters is going to be a little tight on a vlog. But I would choose a 24 to 70. Oh, damn, I forgot about EF lens. Yeah, exactly. So EF has a massive library and a bunch of third-party lenses as well. So, bro would contaminate any crime scene. Easily, dude. Easily. That 72 Mark 1, are you going to upgrade to the Mark 2? For the Canon? No, if the Z mount lens, or not the Z mount, yeah, Z, right? The Nikon Z? Not Nikon Z. What am I saying? The Canon RF Z, I think is what it's called. No. If I were to get that lens, I would probably get the 24 to 105 f2.8. Because I have the 70 to 200 and I don't use it as much, I would just keep using this one. I think I will get the R50V maybe mid-year or end of year. Bro, it's so cheap, dude. $600. You can't go wrong with it. I have two of them. I literally almost bought a third R50V last year. I decided against it, and I bought my I bought the Sony. I bought this instead. ZVE10 II. Because I wanted to see what the hype was about. Zeriz, I went to multimedia high school, learned everything about photography principles, which is 8 years ago, but recently got my first camera, 64 power zoom kit lens. Cool. Congratulations. Imagine there are crime scene cleaners. I don't think I would be able to handle. Fuck no, dude. No, dude. Human remains and, like, you know, all that kind of biohazard stuff. Fuck that. I hope those guys get paid well. I have to save up money, man. I get it, dude. I get it, bro. Get to work, Doug Judy. I want to get. I never done photography, but I want to do aviation and entomology. What's entomology? What would be good? What is entomology? Scientific of insects. Oh, sick. Dude, you need a macro lens. Yeah, you definitely need a macro lens. Cool. Yeah, get yourself a nice macro lens. Under 2K. I would do a Canon R50 with an 85mm f2 macro lens. That should be about under 2K. So that is, let's take a look at it. I actually own that combo. It would be this lens right here. Macro. F2 macro, really nice. And then I would get this camera right here. And you could probably get a nicer camera than this. Maybe like the R10 and still be under. Yeah, I would probably get. You said 2K is your budget, right? Ooh, you know what? I'd get this. Yeah. I would get the R8. I'd get the R8 and I would get this lens right here. So you're a little over your 2K budget, but totally worth it, dude. This 85 millimeter macro f2 plus this R8, you're set, dude. Oh, 2K for the body? If you got 2K for the body, I would just get the R6 Mark II. That's this one right here. Right here. Yeah, I'd buy this, and then I'd buy this lens right here. Truthfully, any macro lens for entomology or insects or like, you know, close-up shots that you want to take of, you ever seen those bug photos where like the photos, like you can see the eyes of the insect and shit like that? They use macro lenses to get those kind of those kind of shots. They just have close minimum focus distances. Tomorrow, my Viltrox 25 millimeter is getting delivered. Sick! I'm going to be used for night photography, but also kind of interesting in wildlife. Is there any beginner telephoto lens you recommend? What Shirez, what lens do you have? Minimum wage around 12 an hour. Fuck, dude. 12 an hour. Fuck, dude. I guess you get to use your camera, but 12 an hour is tough. No disrespect, but... also, again, I'm projecting, but 12 an hour is crazy. Is that minimum wage? I thought minimum wage was like $7. 8 millimeter. So next buy are the R50V with a Tamron 24-70. Yeah. Yeah, or the R50V with 18-50 f2.8. But the 24-70 USM is nice. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. The lens 55, is it good? If it's a variable aperture, it's super limiting. What about the FX30? FX30 is sick, dude. You pushing full frame? Why not the R7? I don't like my R7. It's probably my least used camera, Randy. I would totally pick a full frame over a crop sensor. All right, thank you. Only one from Power Zoom kit lens and a Viltrox Prime. Got it. Brother. BRB working on myself. What up, man? How do filmmakers even make money these days? There's a lot of opportunity for content creators, man. In terms of filmmakers, I'm not sure. People get hired to make movies and make projects and do like documentaries. Filmmakers make pretty decent cash, man. What can you say about the Viltrox 85? Viltrox 85 is pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. Bro, only follow Canon on his Insta. Yeah, dude. Canon is #1, dude. Canon is #1. I'll prove it to you guys. I showed some of you guys yesterday. This is from the official Canon USA profile page. Canon #1, based on a Canon survey. Thank you for helping Canon achieve #1 share of interchangeable lens digital cameras in the global market for 23 years in a row, according to Canon. You can't argue with this, guys. I said this yesterday. You can't argue with it, man. The data is right here. I challenge you to find me somewhere where it says Sony is #1. That's an official Sony account. So only 16-50 f2.8 and 25 1.7. So I just upgraded my camera from a Canon T7 to a Canon 6D. I traded my T6 for the 6D. Cool, bro. But I mean, for insects, you don't want a bigger frame. I feel like APS-C for a test. No, I'd want more low light, Randy. I'd want more low light. You're thinking about like the extra punch. That's where the macro comes in. Again, I'm not an entomologist or an insect photographer, but what I know from photography and like I'd like the detail of a full frame. a full frame sensor paired with that f2 macro lens. I think that would be really, really nice, dude. Only a 16 a 15 and f2.8 and a 25 1.4. What about aviation? R6 Mark II body. Hell yeah, dude. 60 sensor is the best sensor Canon has ever put out, better than Fuji. I like the sensor from the R6 Mark I. The sensor on the R6 Mark I was really impressive. I've never used the 6D. You might be right, Randy, but if you're asking for my opinion and my experience, the sensor from the R6 was really nice. This is a film photo that I took. It came out nice. Canon is number one. And I see what you're saying about the low light, and that I agree. Yeah, it would just be my experience. I'd want a full frame sensor. Not to say that full frame sensors are always better than crop sensors, but there's a reason why they're more expensive and they're preferred more often than crop sensors. Them big millimeter lenses be hella expensive. Yeah, zoom lenses are always crazy expensive, dude. Bro, I'm a noob. I like to take pictures, not videos. I like the aesthetic color grader from Fujifilm, but my friends told me to get a Sony 60 for AI autofocus. It's good for beginner friendlies. What do you think I should do? I think you should do, if you want to just take really cool photos, man, the Fuji's great. The 6700 is nice, but if you're looking for just photos, man, there's nothing like a Fuji. There's nothing like a Fuji, bro. All of them take great photos, really, but Fuji's something special, man. It has those film recipes that people go crazy over, so... Alrighty, y'all. I am about to bounce. I gotta go get some lunch in me. If you haven't followed either on TikTok or subscribed over on YouTube, now is your opportunity to do so. I'm gonna be doing some setting up, gonna go get some lunch, fix a couple of things on my stream, but I'll be back later on tonight. Again, if you're not following yet, now is the time to do so. I am about to log off. For all of you guys that hung out with me the entire time, God bless you. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. I did 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Toodles.